is Majo John Madden in the little pueblo of El Diamante, Mexico. And I'm in behind the hotel, which is behind the restaurant O'Reilly. And I've been here about 4 months. Tomorrow will be 4 months. Car broke down a couple miles down the road down there on the 15th of June. And I couldn't even afford to get the repairs started. They towed me finally to a mechanical shop that's just about through there. It's about 100 yards from the restaurant. So I've been in the restaurant a lot, and they've been wonderful. My favorite family ever runs that restaurant. And 2 servers in the restaurant, Marisa and Sarah or Sarita. Nobody around here speaks English, really. Miguel, the son, who along with his father runs the hotel, he has some English, and his wife, they both try with me to do some English, and I use the Google Translator app. 2 servers, and the 21-year-old Marisa, lovely, very lovely, funny. They're all funny. It's a very funny place. They're very happy, and they're laughing all the time, even though they don't make much money because there's too many restaurants in this pueblo. Like 10 restaurants. Nobody makes any real money. But nobody leaves this town either. Their whole orientation is, this is life. This is life as I know it. Why would you ever change? But right after I got here, probably day 2 or 3, joking around the table, they were teasing about, well, maybe we'll hook you up with Marisa here, and you'll just stay. Which, it was a siren song back then because it's so peaceful here and so sweet. And my time in Mexico before here had been so chaotic and difficult in many ways, even if wonderful and spectacular in other ways, that there was an appeal to it until finally in the last week or so I've realized, this is way too small for you, Jack. You're a big city guy, and you were headed for the ocean. You have to be by the ocean. And you got friends out on the Yucatan Peninsula. You're meant to go out there. But Marisa is quite lovely, and I speculate that she's lonely and horny. She's got a 1-year-old at home, and mostly doesn't work. The family, the Israeli family, are all Jehovah's Witnesses, which is, I think, kind of a severe religion, but they are not severe. They're extremely lovely people, so that religion is working for them. She's not. She's Catholic. And she said she would be going to the Catholic church in Vega, the nearby town where she lives. But with the kid, she just doesn't have time or energy. I'm haunted by her. And there's a sweet chemistry between us. Weeks ago, I had said, or someone around the table said, well, if you're going to spend time at the beach, because we're near the beach here. I haven't made it yet in 4 weeks, but just a few miles from here, you can get to the beach. No Americans through here. My whole 4 months in Mexico, I followed a route that does not have American tourists. In 4 months, I haven't encountered one. The only native English speaker I've encountered in 4 months was a guy from Belize traveling through here. I didn't even know there was an English-speaking country in Latin America, but they have British roots. But we connect. She gives me sweet smiles, and I give her compliments. And my whole orientation towards sex and romance, totally respectful. I've picked up 7 homeless girls in the course of 3 years on the road, and there's never been any sex. It's just been really helping, taking care of them, getting them out of the cold or off the street, letting them sleep off whatever it is they're using, because street people, that life is so hard that they do often tend to use some kind of drug. And on the beach on South Padre Island, I had an encounter with a couple. It struck me that he was kind of old to be her partner, but I thought they might be. Turned out he was her stepfather, and she was recovering from the death of his son 3 years before. And he admitted that his son was kind of a case and had done some numbers on her. But it turned out, as I was listening to them and got her talking some, that her real trauma, that what was tearing her up inside and what she was enraged about, was the way that men will take advantage of a beautiful young woman who's not got a lot of money and, in her case, a couple of kids to take care of, and use them for sex. And it made a big impression on me. Like, you've been pretty much squeaky clean. And it's really true. I feel like I'm following a tantric path where, although I have tremendous sexual energy and the life force pours through me, it always seems that if I really listen to the woman, what she really needs and wants finally is not sex but something else. So I've been squeaky clean, but that one really was like a shot to the heart, saying, you've got to be so clean. You've got to be really paying attention. So that's where I'm coming from with Marisa. Really pay attention. Ken Kais was a consciousness explorer and writer and leader. Wrote the book, The Conscious Person's Guide to Relationships, which was a kind of a cult classic back in the 70s or 80s. Another thing he wrote, he said, in terms of romantic relationships, it's like a race car driver who knows his car so well that he doesn't even need to use the clutch because he knows from the feel when it's time to shift gears. And he says relationships should be that way, that you're paying so much attention to what's going on under the hood that you know when that next door has opened and you walk through it easily. No muss, no fuss. And it's a lot like Michael Jordan, let the game come to you, or maybe it was another basketball player who said that. Let the game come to you. Get calm inside and see what's going on. Well, one of the things that I've discovered with Marisa is that there's a guy living around here temporarily. He owns a ranch somewhere near here, drives a gorgeous big white pickup truck, and rides a motorcycle. And he's really good looking, and he's a military guy on leave. And he's obviously hot for her. So yesterday I said in a video, maybe the way I can serve her is to be a cheerleader for her, that she's ready for somebody like him. And she's kind of a humble girl, no ego, and very simple person, really, in some ways. So I made a vow to myself. I said, you've teased around the table about whether you find her attractive. Tell her. Maybe this is exactly the right time for her to hear from another man that she's hot. So I made a promise to myself I would, and then acknowledged in another video that I also am disappointed, but I really want to do the right thing. So I actually tried. And I went up to her and I said, so this Victor, what do you think? Is there potential there? And she said, oh, he's mas grande. And I thought, bingo, I'm right. This is like that song, she's so high above me, she'll never love me. So I said, no, he's not too grand for you. You're hot, it's a good time for me to just tell you, as a man, you really are quite hot. So I came clean, which was great, and who knows what the ripple will be of that, but I bet it made a real impression on her. But it turned out, God is always playing jokes on me, that the way mas grande, those Spanish words, the way she was using them meant, he's too old for me at 32. and I thought that was hysterical. What did life pulled a real joke on you there if she thinks he's too old. But I honestly haven't given up on the notion because I feel positive that I could be really good for her. if I'm really clean, if she knows that I'm not cut out for monogamy, that I'm not wanting to settle down with her and the kid, but that I would stick around a little while longer as long as good things are happening between us. So who knows? Who knows? I really don't know. But I've opened up that primary place for 8 years. A dog has always been my primary partner. I've always had a dog in tow that I adore, and I turn them into amazing dogs. And people can smell it on me. I say we all the time as I'm traveling, introducing myself to people. When I say we, they assume I've got a partner. And in some ways that's been true. But life